Welcome, race fans, back to the Flashracing Cup Series Season 4, the next generation of diecast racing. This tour is headed to Martinsville Speedway for the Frickum and Gougem 300, Race 5 of the Flashracing Cup Series Season 4. It is going to be really exciting to see how today's race pans out. Of course, Race 5 being a short track here at Martinsville, it's going to be a lot of beating and banging and roughing them up. Or will we see these drivers take a more conservative route to work their way towards the front as clean as possible? There are multiple driving styles you can run with at short tracks. But of course, Martinsville Speedway has always been known for exciting, close quarters racing. And tonight is expected to be no different than any other night in the Flashracing Cup Series Martinsville races. Of course, this being one of the more exciting races on the schedule, it's going to be really exciting to see what this short track here in Martinsville, Virginia brings today for these drivers. Some of the most iconic moments and wins in NASCAR and in the Flashracing Cup Series have happened at this racetrack. One of the most historic short tracks in the Flashracing Cup Series and has been here since Season 1. Let's take a look at your stories of the race. Of course, your points leader, Kyle Busch. He is still out front. He's got plenty of points to make it up. He's got 300 points, so he has nothing to worry about. His points lead is pretty well set in stone. And of course, the big storyline of the night. Simon Torres was not feeling well throughout the week, meaning that someone else would have to take his place here in the Flashracing Cup Series for this race. So unfortunately, Simon Torres is not going to be able to say he's ran the whole season, as he has had to miss tonight and may have to miss a few more races if he's not feeling much better. But for the time being, it's really unfortunate because Simon Torres is second place in the points with a championship on the line. So a very unfortunate situation for this brand new race team. But tonight, Simon Motorsports, TRD have decided on Daniel Hemrick driving this car tonight. Daniel Hemrick will be driving this car. He'll be starting in 11th place, of course, because that car may not be competing for any points, or maybe a very small amount of points because it is a sub-driver driving it. Of course, you have Denny Hamlin and Flash Racer. Of course, if Denny Hamlin this high up in the points in third, he's going to be really exciting to watch. Martinsville is one of Denny Hamlin's best racetracks. So for him to be starting this high, of course, the top 10 in points decides how far up you start. Of course, the top 10, you automatically start in the front row. That is how it's been recently. And the rest of the field has to qualify on speed. But of course, Denny Hamlin being in the points position that he's in, and as high up as he is in this race, the motivation and the just pure confidence is key to being successful here tonight. Denny Hamlin knows he has fast race cars every time he heads to this track. Tonight was no different. That 11 car was a rocket in practice. And of course, Denny Hamlin has always been a successful driver. And Toyota's been having a fantastic season, winning a majority of the races this season up to this point. So Denny Hamlin's got a lot on his side to be a victor of tonight's race. Of course, Flash Racer still in a solid place in the points. As you can see, the top 10 is lined up as to how they are on the top 10 in points. So, of course, he is in fourth. Him and Denny Hamlin have been battling out for third and fourth. But Flash Racer still looking to get another win. He hasn't won since Season 3, so it's a long winless streak. He hasn't won since Atlanta of last year. So, will Flash Racer break the winless streak? That has been the number one storyline of this season. And of course, he has incentives to perform the best he can to stay with Chevrolet. And of course, that's been another big story. He's been communicating with other teams, and it started last year at Bristol in case he needed backup plans, because you never know what can happen. Flash Racer is racing for his career at Chevrolet Racing, and of course, he is going to be doing all he can to maintain that spot. His contract depends on how well he performs for the rest of this season and in the upcoming races. Of course, they did not give him the long-term contract right away. And of course, Flash Racer is racing under the most pressure he's ever had to race under. But of course, Flash Racer always breaks through. And will he slip through the cracks, or will he be successful for the rest of the year? And of course, win at this track. This is one of the tracks he had circled on the calendar as a good race, a good chance of winning a race. Yeah, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, just a lot of great short trackers up here. Chase Briscoe, your previous race winner at Atlanta. Impressive rookie runs for Austin Cindric, and of course, another great short track. Just a lot of great short track drivers. Jessica Monnet, of course, Kyle Larson bringing the speed. Hendrick Motorsports, and let's talk about Hendrick for a little while. Hendrick Motorsports is one of the best race teams at this racetrack. They've led lots of laps and have won many races. A very historic race team at a very historic track. And of course, these cars are fast enough to work their way to the front, so it's not like their race winning chances are already over, starting underneath the top 10 due to not being in the top 10 in points. But tonight can be all about Hendrick. It's going to be a Hendrick type of night if these guys have their setups nailed and are able to work their way to the front. Of course, you got a couple starting out back, but those guys are fast enough to make it. So without further ado, now that we've gotten our stories heading into the race out of the way, let's do our starting lineup here for the Flash Racing Cup Series. Now, for your starting lineup here in the Flash Racing Cup Series, we're going to have Kyle Busch automatically starting out front, being the points leader. And, of course, Daniel Hemrick will be starting back in 11th. So this is probably going to jumble the starting lineup a little, but we will tell you all the drivers in the race. So Daniel Hemrick will be starting 11th, not in 2nd. Of course, you have Denny Hamlin, Flash Racer, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Jessica Monnet, a great short track driver. Of course, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, who lost 5 points due to his actions in the previous race, and Penske lost their appeal. Of course, you have Darrell Wallace Jr., Bubba. A couple brand new cars out here. Daniel Suarez, Philip Torres, Alex Ross, a fantastic short track driver. Just a lot of these drivers that are good at these types of racetracks, and he's one. Of course, you got Chase Elliott, led a lot of laps here in his career. You got Alex Bowman, Cole Custer, Izzy B, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, Todd Gilliland, Eric Almirola, Christopher Buescher, almost said Christopher Bell. Of course, you have Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, brothers, and of course you got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Corey LaJoie, Ross Chastain, and of course making his first ever Flash Racing Cup Series start, the number 77 Ziegler of Josh Bilicki. And of course you have Harrison Burton, had a horrible qualifying, of course, of the cars that were qualifying on speed. He is going to be way in the back with Kaz Gralla. So without further ado, it's time to talk about the racing package. So for you new Flash Racing Cup Series fans, the races are decided by this, a spinner. So the first place is the control car, Kyle Busch. He gets 5 spins on the restart. 5-speed sequential shift box, gearbox, 5 spins for the leader, and the rest only get 1, and whatever number that spinner lands on, that's where you're going to be on the racetrack. And that is how these races are decided. And it's going to decide which teams have brought in the best equipment and who will lead the most laps and perform at their highest at one of the most iconic short tracks. For the Frickum and Gougem 300 at Martinsville Speedway, it's going to be highly, highly aggressive. Of course, these drivers are the most aggressive NASCAR's ever seen it. And they have a lot of guts, talent, and they are willing to go for the glory here at Martinsville Speedway. For race number 5, of course, will Chase Briscoe go back-to-back? He has winning capabilities as well. He won at last race at Atlanta, and heading into race 5, he's got a lot of momentum on his side. He's in the top 10 in points. He went all the way up because of that win. So, without further ado, let's get the pre-race ceremonies. Man, we haven't done a race in a while. Pre-race ceremonies. And then we'll get the engines fired so that we can go green here at Martinsville Speedway for the Frickum and Gougem 300 at Martinsville Speedway. Stay tuned for the drop of the green flag. All right, folks, the engines are fired, so now it's going to be time to get these cars cleared from the racetrack so that we can go green here at Martinsville Speedway. For one of the next short tracks here in the Flashracing Cup Series, it's going to be really excited to see how this one goes. Without further ado, let's get these cars cleared from the racetrack so that we can go green here for the Flashracing Cup Series Season 4 Frickum and Gougem 300. Alright, folks, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. The cars have been cleared from the racetrack so that we can get ready to go green here for the Frickum and Gougem 300 Martinsville Speedway race here for the Flashracing Cup Series Season 4. So excited to head back to one of my personal favorite short tracks as a commentator to watch and to call these races. Martinsville is always the most exciting because there's action all across the racetrack. Tonight will be no different. Starter has the green flag in his hand, and here they go here. Green flag here at Martinsville Speedway. Here comes Kyle Busch and the number 18 Crunchy Cookie Camry. Let's see what he's got. Fast race car to start with. Kyle Busch already setting the pace as the points leader here in the Flashracing Cup Series. Let's see what the next driver coming up. Denny Hamlin, who started in second place because of the number 71. Your third place in points car, Denny Hamlin. He's going to get around him, gives him a little bumper. Kyle Busch loses the lead, and Denny Hamlin will advance to the front. Your third place car in the points has now taken the lead here in the Flashracing Cup Series. And of course, fourth place in points, Flash Racer in the number 94 Chevrolet. And of course, Flash Racer gonna use a bit of bumper, not that much. He's gonna race him respectfully as he can while moving him out of the way in a kind of a smooth way. Flash Racer making his way up to second place, now racing the leader, Denny Hamlin. And here they go, going into the corner. Denny Hamlin's going to be really hard to beat here at Martinsville because he is one of the best at this racetrack. And here they come into the corner. Denny Hamlin is just the fastest thing out there right now at Flash Racer, doing everything he can to get to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. And of course, fifth place in points, Martin Truex Jr. Of course, he's going to try to go for it. Let's see what he has. Martin Truex, always a great short track driver. He's going to get around Kyle Busch right here, very clean. And now the points leader, Kyle Busch, is the car that's noticeably losing spots and the pace so far. 4 laps in, and Kyle Busch is falling back. Pretty vulnerable. You were out front, Kyle, and now you're falling back already. So that's kind of been a trend. When a car starts falling back, that usually means there's probably an issue out of control for the driver, or something may be happening. But Denny Hamlin is still under control of this race at Martinsville Speedway. Your next car on the top 10 in points, Christopher Bell in the number 20 DeWalt Camry for Joe Gibbs. See what he's got. He's going to be exciting to watch because we know he can win at Martinsville. He can win in the clutch. And of course, here he goes, making his way underneath his teammates. And of course, he's going to get up to Flash Racer, give him a little bump. There you go. Moves Flash Racer up the racetrack. And Flash is going to lose a spot here to Christopher Bell. And now Flash Racer finds himself in a Toyota sandwich with that bump and run that Christopher Bell just pulled on him. Pretty early to be making a move like that. Christopher Bell's a young driver. Of course, Flash Racer probably has to be a bit shocked that it happened as early as it did. But of course, this is Martinsville, and no time is too early to be aggressive when it comes to this field of drivers. Of course, Christopher Bell is now up to second in the race. Denny Hamlin is still in domination mode. And here comes the previous race winner who won Atlanta, Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe's not so lucky. He's going to back into the wall. Your first wreck of the day, Chase Briscoe, who won the previous race in the Flashracing Cup Series. He is out. he backed into the wall, and he is done for the night. Chase Briscoe, already your first casualty of the night. Of course, Chase Briscoe is out. So, shows you how you can go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows next week. Very unfortunate. He will have to wait till the next one to defend his Atlanta race. Can't win them all. Here comes Austin Cindric in the number 2 Discount Tire Mustang. One of the better rookies this year. Can he get it done? He's got it. Let's see what he has for the field. Austin Cindric, a very good driver. And of course, here he comes. He is passing cars, making his way through. Flash Racer loses another spot, and that was straight up clean. Bam! Right in the back bumper of Christopher Bell. Gets him up the racetrack. And now gets the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. But it looks like Denny Hamlin is still going to be the leader. Looks like the 2 bumped the 20 out of the way. And now he's going to get after the 11. So now Austin Cindric battles the leader, Denny Hamlin, for the first place spot. And guess what? With that very good run by Austin Cindric, that's another loss for Kyle Busch. Here comes Jessica Monitt in the number 13 Toyota. Your next top 10 in points driver. Let's see what she has. Jessica Monitt, the Toyota Sports driver. She will get to run. Bam! A little shot to Kyle Busch, but it's not going to get past Kyle right there. So she is not afraid to use the bumper. She is willing to be aggressive with people in any moment and any time. So that is what makes her an exciting driver to watch. But she is not going to go anywhere. But hey, at least Kyle Busch didn't lose another spot. Here comes Kyle Larson in the number 5 Chevrolet. Let's see what he has. Hendrick owns these racetracks with their performances. Can he prove something? And it looks like he's going to make 3 spots right here. Flash Racer's going to throw the block. Contact made from that block by Flash Racer. Flash is not willing to lose any more spots. 4th place is good so far in the race. He's in the catbird seat. He's not letting anything happen. Kyle Larson just got the brunt of the force of Flash Racer defending himself here in the Flash Racing Cup Series. Flash wants to be the best Chevy in the Flash Racing Cup Series, and he is proving it tonight, and it's been so far this season, still proving himself to Chevy that he belongs. And the battle out front continues between Austin Cindric and Denny Hamlin. Very, very intense out here, okay? Here comes William Byron in the number 24 Raptor Chev for Hendrick Motorsports. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. William Byron is going to pass a lot of them here. And now William Byron is going to pass Flash Racer. So Flash Racer has lost another spot cleanly. And check this out. He's going to dive bomb Christopher Bell. And he is going to work his way up to 3rd. And there it is. Now that William Byron has inserted himself. Of course, he was not in the top 10 in points. So he is going to work his way through the pack on his own to get the points he needs right now. That's 80 points right there if he finishes there. So that's going to be really well for William Byron. And parity between the manufacturers, Toyota, Ford, and Chev, are all in the top 3. Of course, Chev being represented by William Byron, Austin Cindric representing Ford, and Denny Hamlin representing Toyota. The banner of dominance all season long. If you're driving a Toyota, your shots to win are going to be extremely high. And of course, there's a lot of them in the top 10. And here comes another one that would have been. Here comes Daniel Hemrick. Of course, he is subbing in for Simon Torres. He's driving the car this week. He's explained how excited he is and how he's going to take advantage of this opportunity. Does not know what to expect going into tonight. And of course, gonna race a teammate with respect. Not gonna do much. He's not even fast enough to get past his teammate right there, Jessica Monitt, or his temporary teammate, we should call it. They've gotten along very well with Alex Ross and Jessica Monitt, Daniel Hemrick has. And of course, he's racing them with a lot of respect. Knows what's on the line for these drivers competing for points, but also wants the best for himself. More focused on the best of others in this race so far. It looks like he's just going to let his teammates, if they need points, he's got to let them have them. But of course, the time will come where he will have to start defending himself eventually as this race goes on. But Denny Hamlin and Austin Cindric continue to battle out front. Here comes Ross Chastain in the number 1. Can't stop us now. Is there any stopping that Chevy Camaro tonight? That's what we're going to have to find out. Let's see what he has. Ross Chastain. Here he comes under William Byron. He's going to get past Austin Cindric right there. Not going to tap him. He's not going to bump into him, but he tapped him for sure. And another bump and run. Bam! Ross Chastain moves Denny Hamlin out of the lead. And now it's the number 1 for Trackhouse Racing's. Ross Chastain is now out front with that bump and run move on Denny Hamlin right there. You guys saw it. The rivals, Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain, have found each other again. And now it's competing for a win. Ross Chastain's going to be competing for his first win tonight. A lot of points gained if he stays in the top 10. A great points night for that team. And if he can win, it'll be even greater. And getting Pitbull that exposure. Here comes Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Advanced Auto Parts. Here he goes. He's got a fast race car. Of course, Cindric's going to lose a spot right here. Here comes the 12. And Hamlin is not going to let him have it very easy right there. Wow. So it looks like Blaney is not going to make it anywhere further than that. He is where he is, and that is going to be it. But Penske Racing, a very good night for them. They've got 2 cars in the top 5 right now. And, of course, Denny Hamlin's going to defend that spot no matter what's on the line for them. But Ross Chastain leads another lap here, battling Denny Hamlin. He is just a fast race car. Ross Chastain, very good night. He could lead a lot more laps if he just keeps up the pace and doesn't cause any trouble. Here comes Joey Logano in the number 22 Ford. A brand new Verizon paint scheme this weekend. Let's see what he has. Brand new sponsor. He's got a dive bomb. Daniel Hemrick clean right there. And here he goes working his way through the field. And he's got a fast enough car to do it. Check it out. So all of Penske Racing is out front. Bam! Another huge bump and run. He bumped Hamlin way out of the groove right there. Joey Logano already getting aggressive. And Hamlin's going to lose a lot of spots. He lost spots to all 3 of the Penske cars. Can you believe it? Bumped out of the groove by Joey Logano right there. And that is not going to be good. That is heated action right there. And now Logano and Chastain, the 2 most aggressive drivers in the Flash Racing Cup Series and in all of stock car auto racing, are battling it out for the lead with Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric in tow to watch the battle. All 3 of Penske Racing versus Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain in the number 1 right there. It's going to be all depending on what this 22 is willing to do and what this 1 is willing to do. They're going to stand up for each other no matter what. These drivers care about where they finish. Here comes Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Camry. Let's see what he's got. This is going to be exciting to watch. This race is starting to get interesting. Oh no, an engine's gone. The 23. Issues already. He's slowing up. He's going to have to go to the pits. He is really low on speed. Unfortunately, your first mechanical failure of the night, Bubba Wallace. Very unfortunate for that beautiful paint scheme. It's going to be back soon. Daniel Suarez in the number 99. Let's see what he has. Will he have better luck? Oh, wow. Let's see what he's got. Daniel Suarez from Monterrey, Mexico, racing for Trackhouse. He's teammates with the 1, and look at that. He's setting the pace high, and he's going to go underneath. Logano is going to throw the block, so that means he's not going to be able to get past him very easily, that 99 to the 22. And it looks like that's it, folks. Daniel Suarez, he's having a career night. He is running the best. What an impressive run. Daniel Suarez, he's running the best he's ran in his career so far, running 3rd. Still looking for that first Flash Racing Cup win. But he is absolutely going for it. What a good run tonight. And, of course, now that puts Logano in a Trackhouse sandwich. So the 3 Penske cars have now been separated. And Denny Hamlin lost all those spots from those aggressive moves that we saw by Joe Logano. Here comes Philip Torres in the number 46, another aggressive driver, hyper aggressive. in a lot of situations. So we're going to have to see what he's willing to do if he has a car to get it in. Holy cow, let's see where that puts him. That spin could be a good one for him. Here he comes. He's going to get underneath a lot of them here. He's going to get under Daniel Suarez. Boom! The bumper to the back of Joey Logano. And now, he's going to get to the back of Chastain. Holy cow! Can you believe it? And of course, Logano is going to tap him back side by side. Wow, more contact right there. Bam! He's going to get in the back of the one. Hey, can you believe that? Logano is going to defend his spot at all costs. Can you believe all of that action in that corner? Can you believe it? Philip Torres, the PTR Flash Racing team owner. Of course, he is now owning a team now, but look at that. Joey Logano has just gotten his cage rattled up and rattled Phil's cage back. Unbelievable. And Ross Chastain's looking in the mirror, and he's liking what he's seeing, because that's just going to help him get further and further ahead. But man, it is getting really aggressive out here tonight at Martinsville. Absolutely delivering on the Frickum and Gougem name. Here comes Alex Ross, number 89 Camry. Let's see what he's got. Is he going to be fast enough to deliver a result? He really needs good runs to get points. And of course, now it looks like he's going to get that opportunity, passing Christopher Bell and William Byron. He's not going to get past Denny Hamlin, though, but that's not going to happen. But contact right there, you just saw it. Man, they are not liking another car getting into the mix, but man, Alex Ross is going to find a way in if he can. Here comes Chase Elliott, last year's champion in the Flash Racing Cup Series. Let's see what he's got. He had a pretty poor run at Bristol. He needs to get better runs. Hasn't had the best. We're going to have to see what he's got this time around. Chase Elliott, he's a proven driver. We spun his spinner right there, and let's see what he's got. He's going to make it 3 wide. Check it out. Here we go. 3 wide action. 3 wide action right there. And, of course, Chase Elliott's going to make up a lot of spots. And here he goes. Inserts himself into the top 10. A good night. And if he could stay there, that is points for that number 9 team right there of Chase Elliott as Ross Chastain continues to battle here out front, man. It is getting really exciting with Logano closing in ever closer lap after lap as the action is starting to just catch up with itself here, which is really exciting. Phil Torres is in the mix up there as well with Daniel Suarez in tow with them. Here comes Season 1 champion. Of course, you got a couple champions in here. Let's see where that's going to put him. Oh, he's up the track a little bit. Going to lose a bit of speed. You can see he did not make the corner very well. And it looks like now he's going to try to get past the 5, but the 5 was just faster. That corner was not good for that 48 car. And now it looks like he's going to be in the middle of Truex and Busch right there. So now the 48 is in a Gibbs sandwich right there. But he completely missed the corner, went up and just... not a good run for that 48 car. Just not a good one. But, of course, he's got a lot more left in this race to make better corners and try to keep his spot. But Ross Chastain and Joey Logano are still battling out front right here. A Chevy sandwich is where that car is in, that number 22. Here comes the number 41 car of Cole Custer. So let's see where he goes. And another car loses, and another Haas car spins out. Hits the wall hard. Backs it in just like Briscoe, and he is out. He ain't gonna wall ride to the finish. No, he is out of this one. Izzy B in the number 36 Ford. Let's see what she has. She's trying to get relevant again. Hasn't had the greatest season this season. Getting used to that new team and position. Let's see. Oh, crowds. Larson makes contact. A lot of contact. Bam! A little bit of contact with the 36. Flash Racer is not going to let that 36 by. The 36 got into Flash Racer Larson, and Flash Racer came back down and wow. Wow. And of course, Izzy B is not going to like that, giving a bit of contact. Gosh, she is really letting her inner Wednesday Addams come through in this race. And it's going to cost some momentum here. The 5 car is going to easily make it by the 36. And now the 36 is going to be behind the 5. Insane contact right there. What in the world could have caused that to happen? They have never had any run-ins before. So that is a crazy amount of contact right there. Not sure what that stemmed from. It's been an action-packed night here at Martinsville Speedway in the Frickum and Gougem 300. Very aggressive driving, contact, close quarters, all across the field. Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and Philip Torres continue to battle, and Ross Chastain leads the battle into the second half of the broadcast. Stay tuned, as we're going to continue here in the Flash Racing Cup Series. Ross Chastain leads the battle.